I just want to start off by talking about the first fight with Josh Warrington back in February. Um, Looking at your record, you'd had two previous defeats early in your career, and since then you'd fought decent opposition, but nowhere anywhere near Josh Warrington's level. So going into the fight, what gave you the confidence that you could get the job done against Josh?
Bueno, sí, tuve dos derrotas, pero bueno,
So
aprendí
yes, it's
muchísimo,
true that I've got two
muchísimo de eso.
defeats
Créeme
on my record, but I think I learned a great deal from
de la
those
que
defeats. It
perdió,
gave me the
la
belief
que perdió y
what I did in
saber,
those fights to continue.
créeme
If you look at
que
all the greats like
se hace
Chavez,
grande la
Chavez
derrota y
lost,
bueno,
and
solo
De La Hoya
como
lost,
preguntas.
Pacquiao lost. They
Y
had big
ya
defeats,
para mí
but
todos
the
los
big thing about a
boxeadores son
champion is that
élite y
you
bueno,
get
Josh
up and you
Warrington lo
carry on.
sabe y
And in terms
lo ha
of the quality
comprobado.
of opponents I
Fue
faced,
el
I think
primero
all
y bueno,
Mexican fighters could be considered elite
yo siempre
fighters,
tuve
and I
la
think
confianza en mí
Josh
mismo, como te lo
got
he
to know
dicho,
that when we
siempre
faced each other.
me he entrenado
And
para
my
estas,
confidence
para
comes
estas
from my
oportunidades
training.
y cuando se
And
nos
whenever
dio,
these opportunities
adelante
present
la
themselves,
aprovechamos
I
porque
look to
sabíamos que
take them.
éramos
And I
capaces
grabbed mine with both
de
hands on the
hacerlo y
13th
de
of
ganar
February last time.
ese 13 de febrero.
And while you were fully confident of the victory, were you surprised by how dominant the performance was as it turned out? Did you expect a more competitive fight?
Créeme que sí, sabíamos que éramos
Yes, we
muy
knew. I mean,
superiores a
I
él
felt
por
superior.
el
We felt
entrenamiento que
superior because of
teníamos
the way that we trained.
y bueno,
And if you
esta
think we
vez
trained well last time, we
comparto
trained
y
triply as
sabemos
hard
de
this
la
time.
capacidad que tenemos como
And you'll see
mexicanos
that Mexican
y la
power,
capacidad que tengo yo
and we'll be even more ready this time.
boxeador.
Now, the rematch is, of course, in Leeds at Headingley Stadium. How aware are you over in Mexico of the fan base that Josh Warrington has, how passionate they are, how large it is?
So
Bueno,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 4th of
sabemos
September. I
que
can't
el
wait for it to
empate
come
es en
around.
casa y
And going to
yo
fight
con
him in his
mucho gusto
backyard,
voy
it doesn't really matter because in the end, it's just him
claro,
that
con
steps
mucho
in the
gusto
ring.
voy
It's no one else.
hasta su
It's him
casa,
against
gracias
me.
que
So I'm
sabemos que
delighted to
estamos
go
en el
there,
mismo nivel
and I'm delighted
y
to show
bueno,
him that,
espero con
as he
éxito
said,
el 4 de
we're
septiembre.
not on the same level.
How do you feel about the fans, and there will be thousands of them booing you throughout the fight on your way to the ring and so on? Is that something you've ever experienced in a previous fight?
Créeme que sí, fui a
Yes, yeah,
Argentina,
I've
lo
experienced this
hice,
before.
en la
I've
Ciudad de México
experienced this in
también lo he
Argentina
hecho
when
y
I
bueno,
fought there.
como
Also
lo
in my hometown of
repito,
Mexico
eso me
City.
motiva a mí,
And
créeme
I have to
que
repeat
estar
that it
los
just motivates
abucheos
me
y
even more to hear the
todo
whistles, to hear
eso
the boos.
me
It just fire
enciende
me up
y me
even more in the
prende
night
antes de subir al
to go and do
cuadrilátero
my
y lo
thing.
tomo de la mejor manera.
Now, Josh Warrington will obviously prepare harder, just as you have. You said you've trained triply hard. I'm sure he has too. If the fight this time goes to the scorecards, do you have any concerns about the judging here in the UK?
Créeme que sí, y bueno, me he
So,
preparado
yes,
mucho
what I
para
can
esta
say is
práctica de
that I've been
conciencia
training extremely hard,
y bueno,
as you said,
el
triply as hard.
4 de septiembre
And you'll see on the 4th of
pero sabes
September
que
that
no
this
vamos a
will
llegar
not go
a las
to the
tarjetas.
scorecards.
And a lot has been talked about this being a make or break fight for Josh Warrington at this stage of his career. You're much younger, of course, but what can another victory over Josh do for your career? Where would you see yourself on the world stage should you win again?
Bueno,
So
créeme
it will
que
mean
tengo
a
muchos
great deal
años,
for me winning.
pero
I always go
ahora
into the
siento que
fight
hay
thinking that I've
momentos
got a
que
lot
tengo
more
que
to
ganar
win
que perder.
than to lose, and this
Y
is
bueno,
no
esta no será la
exception.
excepción
Hopefully,
bueno,
huge
espero que
opportunities will
lleguen
come my
buenas
way following a
oportunidades
victory
y
here. I've always said I wanted to
quiero
be
ser campeón
world
del mundo
champion, and
y
I'm
voy a
prepared to
lograrlo
knock
y
whoever
voy a
is in my
atropellar a quien
path
esté en
out of
mi
the way.
camino.
We've got two world champions in the UK at the moment at featherweight. We've got Leigh Wood, who's the WBA regular champion, and Kid Galahad, who recently won the IBF title. Do either of those fights interest you in the future? Obviously, returning to the UK once again.
Yeah, so
Claro,
those
lo he
fights
vivido
would interest me.
mucho,
I love coming to the
un,
UK. I
un
love
espectáculo para
coming to the
mí,
UK for
una,
the show, and it's
una
almost
segunda casa,
become
¿por
like
qué
a
no?
second
Y
home for
bueno,
me.
como
So
campeón
whoever's
estoy
champion
disponible y el que
at that
mejor me
moment,
dé
world
la
champion at the moment, as I said, I want
oportunidad,
to be world champion.
tomarla
And if
y
they
ser
were
campeón del mundo, como te lo
willing to
repito,
give me the
y
opportunity, I'd love to come
vamos
back
a dar
here
todo por el
and
triunfo.
win a world title.
Let's just take this opportunity to find out a little bit more about you ahead of the rematch. So just tell us what age you were when you first got into boxing, and what was it that brought you to the sport?
Claro, empecé a la edad de los 8
So
años
yeah, I
como
started
un
out
niño,
as a youngster,
un
8 years of
deporte muy,
age. When I got
muy
into the
duro,
sport,
pero
I found
divertido
it
para mí.
very tough
Tengo
but
una
extremely
motivación de mi
enjoyable.
hermano
My inspiration was my
y eso fue
brother.
lo que
He
me
got me into
inspiró, lo que me
boxing.
motivó a
And
tomar una
then
carrera
once I got into
como
it, my only thought
boxeador
was to become a world
y
champion
bueno, ya
and to
estando
fight in the big leagues,
en
shall
el
we say,
boxeo, entré en la
and to make
mejor
history in the
del
sport
mundo
so that when in the
y
future
estar en las
people talk
grandes
about
ligas y lo
boxing,
considero ahorita en las
it's
grandes
synonymous as
ligas
well
y
with the
quiero,
name Mauricio Lara.
quiero marcar historia y quiero que cuando hablen de boxeo, pues saquen el nombre de Mauricio Lara.
And does your brother still box?
Yeah, he's still fighting, and actually, he's also fighting on the 4th of September in Mexico City.
And do you have a family of your own now? Or have you got kids?
So yes, I do have family. I've got an 8-month-old daughter. I've got my wife as well, Barbara, who supports me, and they're my motivation to keep on training day in, day out. Sometimes when you don't feel like doing it, they're the ones that spur me on to go and do it, to create a future for them in the future.
And just finally, before we let you go, do you have a message for Josh Warrington ahead of the big fight?
So yes, my message would be, as I've said before, that I hope he has a very exact strategy to beat me on the 4th of September, because I'm like a train without the brakes on at the moment. I'm going in there to destroy him. It's personal now. And when we get in the ring, I'm going to show him, as he said in his words, that we are not on the same level.
Brilliant. Really, really appreciate your time, and you, Kieran, obviously. Thanks very much. And we'll see you on the 4th.
Thanks very much. God bless you and your family as well.